Hello Rose, this is Heather. This is for your criticism video. Just first to tell you that anything we have to say is not to be mean or cruel or just trying to help you out. For your comic book, I like the idea that you're trying to portray. I thought it was cool. I liked it, but there's the fact that it's actually in fact too complicated. Actually, it's too hard of paneling to do. To do something where the main character is either confused or like having the type of paneling you used is actually for much more like people who are more expert at it. I couldn't provide you with a thumbnail or anything because I can't even really do it because I'm new too, so I can't really help you with this. I would prefer it if you would do a more simple idea for your first comic book page.
Especially because of chibis.
Yeah, because they are chibis too, and chibis you can't take them seriously. You need a very serious comic. I mean, I like the fact you try to do something really hard, but I think you need to go simple right now because so that you just learn the basics instead for learning something that's really hard to learn. But we'll go ahead and critic it, tell you what you did wrong if you were to do this again later, because you can do a similar idea for the Sojo one, because the Sojo one is a little bit more ties into this sort of thing. Okay. First of all, you have everything about the same size in this, and that doesn't really pull off confusion because he's very confused. He doesn't know where he is. You did it with angles, but you didn't do it with how the boxes are on the page. Like, here's an example, but this is an anime version of it. It's like they would have it more of like this. Like they have like it. The boxes aren't together. They're like there's one right here, there's one right here. They're just a little bit more, harder to look at, and the text are over the boxes. You had it like this or this or this. When it portrays a little bit more, it's actually hovering over the boxes, and the boxes would not be put together like this. And
having boxes like this means it's in a sequence, and this is obviously all not really taking place in order. It's like kind of like cut out scenes of confusion, and this means that it's happening in order and that it's happening, one after another. And it's really not. I think you're trying to do something like Final Fantasy VII, where it's like he has these kind of like, flash out things and he talks to himself. You would not use these boxes because it's a sequence. It's like something's happening.
Even if he's just waking up and he's just, this is just the beginning because maybe he has amnesia. He can't remember anything about himself and just waking up on a boat. Your angles, like, he can't wake up like this. He can't wake up with his head, like, tilted like that.
Maybe he could, but, doesn't make any sense because it's tilted over here again.
So it's kind of like, I'm not saying have it straight, but because of the sequence, how you have everything laid out, that's how it pulls off, as if he's just moving his head around a lot. Like he's like, where am I?
So just if you were to do this, you probably would fade it out. Like you use Photoshop and fade it out. You wouldn't even have boxes.
You would also have,
and you would portray this over like many pages.
You probably have to have Photoshop skills to get someone else to be portrayed. So it's just a hard, very hard.
And if he's dizzy, these quote bubbles will not be so circular, man.
Yeah, yeah, they would be kind of weird. They would be kind of strange. We had to make another video for artwork. Because your artwork, you very, let's see. I don't know what to use for this. I don't know what paper to use.
I can teach that.
Beginning artists always do this. They always go, can you see me? They always go like this. They try to connect it, like, that's what they do with their lines. Don't do that. No one does that. No one does multiple lines for one line. What you do is you go like this. You just draw like this. One stroke, one stroke, one stroke. If you're trying to do a rough draft, you do it very, very light. Very, very light. That way you don't see all this stuff. Yeah, you do all this stuff very, very light.
Yeah, it's so ragged. It's
Yeah,
like
you do it very light, and then when you do your actual lines, you just do a stroke, stroke, stroke. You don't do stroke, 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 stroke. Because you know, unless you're really good at, unless you're naturally talented or really naturally talented. Naturally talented artists have the ability to automatically get it on the line. They do it at a very young age, and like by the time of 14, they can do multiple lines, but still have it looking like one line. But that's like very naturally talented people. You may not be as I'm not saying that to be insulting. You may not be naturally talented, so that doesn't mean you can't draw. That does not mean that at all. But it means that your eyes will not be able to do that as much. You need to practice on just keeping it one stroke. So when you redo this, which I am making you redo this, because it's not even chibi, that much of a chibi style, it's more anime. And we will draw you a chibi version of your character so you have a reference. But you need to practice on just doing like a very light rough draft of your character, like very, very light. That way you can do as many bad stroke lines as you want. And then for the final thing, do like a one stroke thing. And then you have to ink your characters too, and you have to do it with the inking too. And you're going to have problems with inking, because I always had problems with inking, because I was kind of bad at strokes too. So, and you still watch the inking videos. I can't say much else for you, because I can't provide you with a thumbnail. It's too hard. The mood, capturing that mood is way too hard, because it's a very dramatic mood. And I can't do that, especially your first comp page, because those are only your characters. So I guess that's about it. I guess yeah. So bye.